Hello, and greetings to my second episode in podcasting. Here I am, second episode. I just happened to be fresh from a film TT meeting. I originally did my podcasting or vlogging this morning, uh, but there were too many ums and ahs, and I thought, hey, why not? I could use the practice. Why not? So do forgive me if I bring up my ums and ahs a bit too much. It's something I'm definitely going to be working on. So, of course, my mic is here. I set this up, and hopefully, there's better audio. I would like to thank my people who gave me feedback last week on the last episode. It was invaluable feedback. I appreciate it. And this was from Kyle Pilgrim, great copywriter. He thought, and of course, my opinion as well. My delivery in the last one, especially, was a bit on the slow side. I figure more so because lack of maybe planning and writing things down and stuff like that. But definitely last week, I wanted to get it out. Episode one. Here we are at episode two. And I have my mic, and hopefully, audio is way better. I didn't set up my mudguard to help me block the some of the sound from the AC, so there might be a little hissing as well. So do forgive me for that. It'll all improve in time. I'm thinking with the next iteration, I can maybe do like some intro graphics or something like that, and it's kind of thinking about the name and so on. But yes, I am working on my delivery, Kyle. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the honest feedback. The next thing, or rather comment, I had from Tracy Hutchins. Again, great copywriter guy. I know a lot of these folks. Okay, maybe not that much, but some good ones. So Tracy Hutchins, he was asking about clients. And clients is something or someone, some people that I have to deal with ever so often. Okay, I have to deal with them all the time, doing animation work at Big Shiny Pixel. So, client work, I will definitely talk about that in this episode just for you, and it's something that I should continue more in further episodes, right? And of course, my last comment, I hope I'm not forgetting others. Please comment under the YouTube video or on Facebook if I am forgetting your comment. But the last one was by Michael Rushford, and I'm gonna plug him right now. He is the director of Pendulum and Man in the Woods, both great films. I haven't seen Pendulum just yet. Loved Man in the Woods. Local production. Look for him on Facebook. Look for Man in the Woods. Look for Pendulum. It's good stuff. Support this guy going forward. All right. And he wanted to get more insight. Excuse me. Into the workings and going ons behind some of the projects in Big Shiny Pixel at Big Shiny Pixel. So yes, Mike, by all means, it is my intention to discuss that, and further on in this episode, I definitely will. Right, so let me see if I can wrap up with a bit of my introductions here, and try my best to quit saying Almost did it right there. Right. So I was thinking about the name of the podcast. I have no idea what I'm gonna call it just yet. I was thinking, maybe I should just call it the Unnamed Podcast. But that's probably a bad idea. And as it turns out, someone on the internet has it already. So no Unnamed Podcast for me. So I was thinking, let's shorten that and call it Up. Maybe Up with Max, because I'm usually up late at night or up early in the morning recording these things when people should be sleeping. So there's that. Up, maybe, who knows, it could work. um or who knows, the Orbital Space Fig Show. Yeah, has a nice ring to it. Anyways, if you guys have any suggestions, comments, let me know. It is a variety show, so to speak, about the things that I'm interested. It is a bit of a personal vlog. I will probably do some separate vlogging for folks like Titan, which is Trinidad and Tobago Animation Network. And quick plug right there. I do represent the Trinidad and Tobago Animation Network, currently as the steering committee president, or current acting president. And I, of course, encourage each and every one of you who is into animation, please do register. There's free and paid options. We have our big annual general meeting coming up on Monday, the 17th, 7 p.m. UTT, Wrightson Road. And we will be looking to elect our first official board. Of course, I'm up for presidential running again. If you guys want to support me, please show up, register, vote. There is a low cost payment fee at the moment, whereby you pay a portion of your fees, like probably $40, and the rest becomes due further on. But this is to help us out, help you out, make things easier. You can of course pay your full fees while you're there, but enough about that for now. I shall definitely make some more posts on that, so follow the Titan page. So that's it for my introductions about this podcast. It was a lot of note taking and preparation and stuff like that, and it did remind me of my Gael days. Big up to Gael and the production crew, the time I was there, and the little things that I learned and picked up along the way. So, getting a bit more into the meat of the matter, which kind of goes back to answering Michael's and Tracy's comments or questions. So, clients. Generally, I figure based upon the tone of the comments, it was kind of like, let's talk about the troublesome clients and stuff like that. But while clients may be a bit troublesome and iffy and so on, I think it's the job of the animator and the artist to have patience and try to always work on the best outcome possible. Try to speak with the clients, understand them, because they're paying you, and they understand their product more than you. Of course, as a professional, you can advise them on what's the right strategies, what's the right way to do things, but you can only do so much. I have a method with my more, let's say difficult clients. I might have one way to look at things and they may not, and I usually try to exhaust my my options in terms of trying to explain to the client why I think this won't work, and I'm pretty explicit. Well, not cussing or anything, but I'm pretty generous with where I think something should go, like if it's gonna look bad, or how it's gonna look, and I let them know. And if it is they want to, I usually end with words along the lines of, I don't agree with this, I would advise against it, but by all means, if you want this, in your animated spot, I'm gonna put it in and I'm gonna make it look good. So yeah, that's kind of how I approach things. I mean, sometimes they're really bad clients, like in payment and stuff like that. So you always have to, let them know, hey, we need money to do things. And unlike, let's say, a grocery or a barber shop or something, you can't just walk in and be like, hey, I'd like all these groceries for free, and I'll pay you like 2 months down the line or something, which is kind of generally the case with us artists. And I'm always doing my best to secure down payments. So because I work with other people, I work with other artists. I try to have a collaborative um, effort in Trinidad and Tobago, regionally and globally. But I do try to reach out to my Trinidadian fellow artists first, because I like working with them, with us, to get things done. So that was pretty much how I approach clients. Is always about educating them. These are the people who paying your bills, and a lot of frustrations tend to come about with someone's inadequacy to communicate with the client, or perhaps their budget might be really small, and you may have agreed to something that is way over budget. It's kind of up to you. I've learned to learn. It's up to you to say, hey guys, I'm sorry, this budget needs to cut down in scope. Or, if you want to work hard and give it to them for free, by all means. Um, but I tend to be very reasonable and fair to me, and as fair as I can to my clients. Um, in business, people will always ask for much more, and it's up to you to let them know, hey, work with me here. I have groceries to buy just like you. Um, let's see what we could do. All right. So that's generally my approach towards clients, I suppose. So more on that to come. I have some big stories like this. Well, not very in depth, as I have a responsibility to protect the identity and integrity of my clientele. Note to clientele: this is what I do. So let's move on to maybe answering Mike's question, which was about some of the inner workings behind Big Shiny Pixel, which small tidbit from my last client chat, I suppose. I had to refund a large amount of money this one point in time, and let's just say it could have been one of those make or break moments for me, but I really wanted to turn it into something better, and that's how I really try to look at a lot of things in life. So there was this project. We explained to the client that, hey, this is very difficult, can't be done. Well, not can't be done, but it's going to be close to not getting it done. Long story short, it wasn't. They were pretty upset, but of course, one thing that we made it very clear in the beginning that there's a possibility this will not work, because it's just way too much work. So you know understandably so, we had some irate folks on both sides, but I try my best to turn it into a plus. I fully refunded the folks in a timely manner. I did a follow-up session, as in we did some reviews, looked at the timelines, looked at the budget, and I like to believe it educated them, but more so educated me as well. um, I work with those clients today. Maybe it was because of that follow-up, who knows, but I do try to have an approach to things as best as I can make it. Worry, anger, lashing out don't really change much. So, just kind of wrapping up with the last question from Mike, a bit of an insight into, what we do. So that was a bit of an insight, one of them. I kind of wanted to maybe mention in the way of introducing Big Shiny Pixel to the world. Let me share with you my first production and how it went. So my first production was for Lonsdale Advertising and White Oak. We worked with I worked with Beach House to produce this spot. Um, and my co-director on this, I met Adrian Nurse about a year or two before I decided to branch off, and we were talking about him helping me out as a co-director on some of these spots because he always had big plans to go away. Now, Adrian Nurse, he is a visual effects person. He does compositing, nuke for I think is MPC Pictures, Moving Picture Company. They do work on a lot of blockbuster. Excuse me. They do a lot of work on blockbuster films. Adrian has been in the credits, or at least has his work represented in probably the last 6 to 10 blockbuster films: Guardians of the Galaxy, Ghost in the Shell, stuff like that. So big up to Adrian. So we had a pretty nice time with the White Oak spot. We got Thaddeus Mirage, who at the time was working at Rockstar Games, and Thad is a awesome modeler. He uses like ZBrush, Maya, so he did an awesome model and texture of a plane for us, which we then animated, composited, and so on. I was responsible for the production, art direction, some compositing, and a fair bit of the particle work involved in the spot. So, it was one of those cool collaborations where, me, I'm doing this for a while. Adrian, who is, Rockstar talent, and Thaddeus, who was literally working at Rockstar, being talent. Oh, and of course, Thad, he's also credited on Max Payne 3 as one of the modelers, I believe. A fantastic modeler. I think one of the comments I heard from him when he got to Rockstar was, he was doing too fast and too good at the point in time. So, just a bit of insight in terms of, that was a great first project. Probably one of my dreams to work with, the top talent in TNT. I didn't even know them maybe a year before, and that kind of also began my first foray into learning of all the amazing people who left Trinidad and Tobago to find better opportunities or further themselves and so on. But it was good. I hope I could work with you guys again in the future, and who knows, maybe the governments will help us with some funding to afford that. So I'm gonna wrap up for now. Of course, thanks to our sponsors, Big Shiny Pixel, and feel free to check us out. I have my portfolio. Our portfolio is available on vimeo.com/Big Shiny Pixel, or the more simpler one, bigshinypixel.com. I am on Facebook as well. Please do check it out. So, thanks for sponsoring the show, Big Shiny Pixel. This mic you paid for is working out really nicely. So, guys, as usual, thank you for tuning in. I didn't look up at the camera too much. I'm trying to get my bearings still. This is it's a little strange. Maybe I should stick like a face on the camera. I hear that works. So again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And if you have any, again, comments that I can discuss, I'd be happy to. And next week, or maybe next Friday, who knows? I'm thinking once a week is a nice lazy option. where I can get my work done and try this podcast thing out a bit more. So please feel free to send your comments, send me some questions, and I'll answer it. Next week, I probably want to get into more of, I believe it was, psychology and how you approach people and production and stuff like that. Or who knows, it might just change into a gaming thing. But that's enough for now. Actually, I might just talk about gaming in the next session. So, again, thank you very much for tuning in. This is Max, signing out.